Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played with the Blitzen MTLS. This is a tier 3 American premium light tank with regular matchmaking. The game I'm playing is a standard battle on mines with tier 3 as the top tier and 2 artillery on each team. For this game I am platooned up with Cowboy Arizona, who is also in a Blitzen MTLS. Unfortunately though, he lost internet connection at the start of this game. Now if you've seen the other two games that I've posted with the Blitzen, then you know how much potential this tank has. This is another exciting, intense game, but what makes this game so special is that I actually earn a Reaper medal in it, which I didn't think was really possible to get with the Blitzen. Now the Blitzen actually has a 5-shot autoloader clip, even though each one of those shots is actually a burst of 2 shells. So keep in mind that you actually only need to kill an enemy every burst to keep your streak alive. Peeking up in this area on mines for such a long period of time isn't always the best idea, but in this game I was willing to take the chance because it is a tier 3 game, and there's even quite a few tier 2s, so I was willing to take a risk with the Blitzen's decently reliable armor, while keeping most of my tank behind cover. Your frontal armor is going to be able to bounce most of the fast shooting flak cannons that you'll find at this tier, and if you're able to get your armor angled then you'll be able to bounce quite a few more shells. But a lot of the time you're just going to have to rely on peeking around cover and unloading your clip when an enemy is at least mostly distracted. But being top tier here, I've taken a little more of a frontal heavy tank role. Now even though I've already managed to destroy 2 enemies, and have been an active damage dealer for most of the game already, the game is still very close. So I was going to try to do something cheeky here on this Type 91, because I knew he was just pre-aimed waiting for me to come out of cover, and that's not a fun tank to be trading shots with. Wow, I can't believe I actually got damage on that angle, but that is a pretty soft target. Fortunately my supporting teammates are able to keep him from getting a retaliation shot on me while I'm reloading. It's time to earn my Reaper medal. Now I had to rewatch these shots on the M2 medium a few times to make sure, because it almost looks like I shoot an extra burst into him. It's easy to see the second one because I only had 1 shot left in my clip for that M2. My third kill now has to come after the reload. Once again, a really soft target to finish off my Reaper streak. There was no chance of the streak going any further, because I shot an extra round into that medium tank. Because at the time I was not focusing on a Reaper streak, I was simply just trying to make the most of every single clip I had. Because I knew that even though the score was 10-8, my platoon mate was still not able to reconnect, and so it was really only a 1 tank advantage. And as we just saw with that Reaper streak, that can change in such a short period of time. I should have controlled my bursts a little better here, but I just managed to finish off that tank destroyer. I'm almost able to get this enemy artillery, but I'm just a little too slow on my reload time. And I don't recommend that you make maneuvers like this down rocky slopes, unless you've done it before, or that you're just so kill hungry that it's worth the risk. For me, it was a little bit of both here. Now all that's left on the enemy team is a tank destroyer, the Su-76I, and an artillery. My teammates and I are putting pressure on the artillery from multiple directions, so he really doesn't have much of a chance to make a final stand. And that brings me up to my 7th kill of the game. Now all that's left is the enemy Su-76I, and what could possibly go wrong, 5 tanks against 1 tank destroyer. But instead of staying in one place like I thought the Su-76I would, he cuts a path all the way to our base, and manages to destroy 2 of my teammates while putting pressure on our cap. This is quite a change from what we were seeing earlier in the game. Instead of all those easy targets I was able to penetrate with my regular AP rounds, this Su-76I makes a much tougher target. I've even switched to my APCR shells, but even now they have absolutely no effect on this Su-76I. Yes, the majority of my shots are going into his superstructure, which is quite strong, but a few are finding their way to the bottom plate and haven't done any damage. I've now used up both of my kits to try to keep my tank running. After bouncing 2 full clips, I'm perfectly happy to wait for my teammates to come and help, but this tank destroyer is not giving up without a fight. And there goes my medium tank teammate. I'm trying to make the most of the situation since the Su-76I is distracted momentarily, and a full clip of controlled bursts from my APCR shells does only 1 damage hit. My Panzer IIG teammate made a risky move trying to get a different angle on the Su-76I, but now he's pinned down, so I know that I'm going to have to be the one to find a different angle. Fortunately, my teammate stays in position, because right now success relies on this tank destroyer's attention being divided between the two of us. And since both of us are easily one-shottable by this tank destroyer, there is no room for error. My teammate is definitely paying attention and gets a few shots in while the tank destroyer is distracted. And now I can see the enemy is trying to reposition to get a shot in on both of us, but it is a cramped area to make a final stand. And he gets partially stuck up on the hillside here, and now's my chance. And finally, this very tense standoff comes to an end. A great performance by Ankle-Biter 714, and excellent support from my teammate Night Zombie 21. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game I earned just under 23,000 silver, which would have been a lot more if that tank destroyer hadn't have forced me to switch to my APCR shells. I also earned 7,072 experience with the 2x daily multiplier. In this game I dealt 1,512 damage, assisted with 4 damage, and destroyed 8 enemies while blocking 206 damage. This earned me High Caliber, Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, Top Gun, but most importantly the Reaper Medal for destroying 3 enemies in a row with a single shot, or in the Blitzen's case, a burst. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,813. I managed to hit 74 of my 118 shots and penetrate 42 of those. I'm satisfied with these numbers, but they would have been a lot better if that tank destroyer hadn't put up such a fight at the end. In terms of crew and module damage this game, I injured the driver and radio operator in the Type 91, injured the driver in the Panzer IIG, damaged the ammunition in another Type 91, and injured the commander in both the M2 Light and Su-76I. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing another exciting game with the Blitzen MTLS. Hopefully you'll have picked up some tips on how to use the Blitzen to train both you and your crews. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.